YouTube? It's your boy Thomas back again with another rendition of Truth Be Told. There's just a few things I want to talk about in the news going on today, like the couple in St. Louis, Missouri that were trying to defend their home and their family. They were in the right to do so. That's their right. Even though they were carrying guns, they were the victims, not the mob. The mob broke into their gates and went in on their property. Yes, it is a mob. They are terrorists. The mainstream media is trying to make them look like they're victims. The mob is the victims when they were not. They were making threats, threatening to kill this couple and everything else. So the couple was in their right to defend their property and their home and their lives. They were under threat. They were not peaceful protesters. They are a mob. They are terrorists. They were made up of BOM and Antifa. And other thing is, I think it's funny they keep sticking on race, but there were only like 2 black people. If you watch the video, there's only like a couple of black people in that crowd. The rest of them were all freaking white. It's just retarded. These white liberals need to stop their bullshit. But the insane thing is that they're trying to charge this couple, which is dumb. It's fucking ignorant. You got this black district attorney who's far left, and she's trying to make out the mob as being the victims, which is actually the complete opposite. It's a flat out lie. So I don't know. It's ridiculous. They were in the right what they did. That's all I have to say. Moving on. Golden Girls. Hulu, which is owned by Disney, is trying to cancel some of the Golden Girls episodes off of Hulu. Why? Because they put mud mask on their faces, beauty treatments in the episode, and they're calling it blackface, which is that's so stupid. They're retarded. It's not blackface. Stop being ignorant. Fucking these far left cancel culture media and Hollyweird, they're just getting dumb. Disney's fucking retarded. Disney needs to be circumvented. Disney needs a better CEO, plain and simple, because they're getting really stupid with this cancel bullshit. That's how I feel about that. Moving on. Oh, and another thing, they're also trying to cancel Betty White just because her last name's White. Back the fuck off. Get out of here with that nonsense. You're being stupid. Stop it. Moving on. The next thing I want to talk about is this Daniel Gonzalez kid. He's a teenager. He's like 17. He does the newspaper at the Miami Lakes Education Center, which is basically kind of like a faux tech. They let some of the high school students come in here and get some credits to prepare for college, which they're kind of also a college as well. But the school was funded in 1998, and then once Obama took over as president, they kind of went extreme far left, and they've been that way ever since. They teach far left ideology to their students. They indoctrinate them in it. Most of the school is Hispanic and black. There's very little whites or Asian people in here, like 1 or 2%. So, that's their ideology. anyways, uh, this kid went and posted a bunch of pictures and made false accusations against some people that were. Uh, it was like a counter protest because of BLM and Antifa that was going through there, and you know, some of them were probably Trump supporters or whatever. But anyways, he went and made a bunch of false accusations about him and posted pictures of him up on Facebook. And they got together and they told him they were going to sue him if he didn't remove the pictures and the false accusations. He's since apologized for it and everything, but he's been told by a couple other people on the far left that are attorneys or whatever that they can't do that, but actually they can. But it just goes to show you, you know, some of these places like that are like that, these VOTECs or colleges or whatever. They're far left and they're indoctrinating this hatred towards you know, other races, other cultures. So it needs to stop. Moving on. Last thing I want to touch base on is the whole virus thing. Apparently the virus, Chinese virus, was gone during all the riots and everything. Now that the riots have kind of calmed down a little bit, all of a sudden it's back, and now we got to go on lockdown again, and yada yada yada. You know, the Democrats are trying to bring all this whole virus crap back again, which is just absolutely retarded and insane. This virus has been proven to be nothing more than just like the flu. In fact, the flu is even worse. It's the only difference between the flu and this China virus is that it's more contagious. That's it. It's easier to get. That's all. And that's all I have to say on that. Let's get on to your B-rated movie reviews. Alright, moving on to your B movie reviews. All you movieaholics out there, we are on Fantasy Week. I got a couple of fantasy movies. One of them is fairly old. The other one, not so much. I couldn't find any box office numbers on them because they're older movies. I think one of them went straight to video, and that's why you don't see any box office numbers on it. The first one was done in 1962. It was called The Magic Sword. And it starred a fairly well-known actor named Basil Rathbone. And the lead female in it was Estelle Winwood. This is not a real known, well-known movie. They actually considered it not that great back then, but actually it's not really bad for the time. It doesn't have like great CGI, or sorry, not CGI, but graphics. It doesn't have great graphics, of course, but it's not bad for what it was, or for what back then. The story is actually pretty interesting. You got a guy who's he basically falls in love with this princess or whatever, and he wants to help save her from like an evil magician. His name is George. Uh, his mother he was kind of adopted by some kind of immortal being, sorceress or something, kinda. And he tells her he's going to go after this princess because she's been stolen by this evil magician. He can somehow, I forget what it's called, but sky or whatever, he can see like in a mirror or a lake, you know, be able to see other places, and he's been kind of watching her, kind of, it's almost stalkerish kind of, but anyways, he goes to see the king after he tricks his mother, because she don't want him to interfere, but he does it anyway. He goes and sees the king. Come to find out, there's this other guy who wants the princess's hand in marriage. This other guy is actually one of the bad guys. He stole the evil magician's power ring or some crap like that. And he's kind of cut a deal with the evil magician to try to get the princess. Of course, it doesn't work out for either one of them. The evil magician is kind of set up like these 7 obstacles for, you know, George to get through. He calls them his curses or some crap like that. Anyway, George had been given some gifts by his mother: a magic sword, a shield, some armor, and 6 knights, supposedly some of the best knights in the world. They, of course, all end up getting killed off one by one. But George finally comes through in the end, and he gets to marry the princess, blah, blah, blah. That's pretty much the whole movie. It wasn't a bad story. It's not bad. Like I said, the graphics, of course, aren't going to be great. It's the 60s. But all in all, not a bad movie. The acting was good, so I give it a good solid 3. Of course, you know, the graphics, even though it wasn't all that great, you know, I give it a 3 for what it was back then. The story was actually pretty decent. It wasn't bad. I give it a solid 4 for sure. And overall, I give this movie, I give it a 4. It wasn't bad. It was actually pretty decent. But yeah, check it out. The Magic Sword. Moving on to the next one. The next one we're going to talk about is called Dr. Mordrid, and it was done in 1992. Now this is I don't know if you've ever heard of them. This was done by Full Moon Entertainment, and they were pretty popular for doing B-rated movies in the 90s for a while. They did like the Puppet Master series and the Demonic Toys and Toy Man and, you know, several other movies. But they were really decent for B-rated movies back then. Most of their stuff went straight to video, though. This starred Jeffrey Combs. He plays Dr. Mordrid. Yvette Nipar is the leading lady, and you know, besides Jeffrey Combs being one of my favorite B-rated actors, Brian Thompson was in this as well. I like that guy too. He played the bad guy, Cabal. It was kind of basically like a rip-off of Doctor Strange. Full Moon was in, you know, rights talks with Marvel about doing Doctor Strange movie, but Unfortunately, it fell through, so they kind of renamed it Dr. Mordrid. But basically, it's Doctor Strange. Basically, Mordrid and Cabal were like kids that grew up as sorcerers in a different dimension or plane of existence. One wanted to go more the dark route, and the other, of course, Dr. Mordrid, wanted to go more the light route. Well, they constantly fighting all the time. This is no different. Apparently, Dr. Mordrid had imprisoned Cabal at one point in time, but now Cabal has freed himself, and now he's causing havoc on Earth. He's trying to destroy Earth and recreate everything, sort of, basically. And Dr. Mordrid's got to stop him. There's this woman who gets involved because some of the people that Cabal's killed is kind of, she's kind of like a detective consultant, police consultant, detective, I don't know. But anyway, she gets involved. She also lives in the apartment complex that's owned by Dr. Mordrid. So, and she finds out he's supposedly an expert, Dr. Anton or whatever. He's like an expert in the occult and stuff, so, and demonology. So she gets involved. They eventually he eventually destroys Cabal and saves the day and saves the world, blah blah blah. And everyone is good at the end of the movie. Everyone's happy ever after kind of crap. So it's not the greatest of movies, but it wasn't bad. It was decent for what it was. The acting is definitely a 4. I really like the actors in this movie. It's really good acting going on. Of course, the graphics. It was kind of cheesy. I give it a solid 3 though for effort. It wasn't terrible, but it wasn't the greatest either. And let's see, the story was okay, but I don't know, it was alright. I give it a 3. It could have been way better, but it is what it is. Overall, the movie, I give it a 3. Overall, it wasn't all that bad. It was decent enough to watch for a knockoff of Doctor Strange. Anyways, check it out, Dr. Mordrid. Decent movie, not bad. Well, that's all I have for you this week. Please leave in the comment sections down, or the comments down below. Tell me your thoughts on what I talked about earlier in this video. And as before, if you have any suggestions, other gems or movies that I might have missed, that I might not know about, leave your suggestions in the comments down below, and I'll get to reviewing them when I can. Until next time, I told you you'd be told the truth, and you've just been told.